Hey guys, what's going on? Mike the Caveman Q here again, Paleo Problem Island, MikeTheCaveman.com. We have another edition of Monday Nights with Mike, live stream Q&A, ask me anything, health related. And yeah, you know how this works. You put your questions down in the comment box. And as usual, I have to pull it up on my phone as well, because for whatever weird reason, Facebook likes to decide not to show me the comments all the time. So just ask me the questions, you know the deal. Murray, what's up? How you doing? A couple more viewers popping on now, looks like, but I can't see who because Facebook likes to decide not. Like I said a minute ago, Facebook doesn't like to tell me. Hey Annie, how you doing? So again, you put those questions down in there, and we'll keep it rolling. So while I'm waiting for you guys to put your questions in, let's start out with one. My friend Maddie just sent me over a couple minutes ago, actually, and she wanted to know: are Applegate organic hot dogs okay for children, particularly infants? And the answer is yes. Applegate organic, particularly the organic ones, that's implied by the Applegate organic part, wouldn't it be? But they have their natural hot dogs, which are also grass-fed beef, and they also have their organic ones. So those two combined, what that's going to do is the pasture-raised part means that they're not using every ingredient, or rather, the Applegate organic means that all of the ingredients are organic. The natural one is good as well, but ideally, yeah, all the ingredients should be. So either way, in grass-fed beef, the nitrates they're using are coming from the celery powder, so it's not going to have the heavy metal toxicity potential. So yeah, while hot dogs have a bad rap, Applegate's products are definitely a healthy food, 100%. Okay. Annie, does eating before working out in the morning improve performance? And the answer is it can. However, for what purposes are we looking for the performance boost? Are we looking for a performance boost for a competition purpose, or are we looking for just the workout itself? Now, if we are looking for a competition, then yeah, you may want to work out. You may want to eat something beforehand. However, if you think from an ancestral perspective, when did we eat? Well, you had to do something beforehand. Hey, Katie, what's up? So, that being said, if you had to obtain the food first, you couldn't just eat first thing but before working out. So, what that means is, if you didn't have a refrigerator, if you didn't have a cabinet stocked full of food, what you'd have to do is you'd have to walk if you were hunting and if you were gathering berries and nuts and fruit, if you were harvesting vegetables and whatnot. Again, you had to go out and actually do it. If you were hunting, you had to go out, run, throw a spear, shoot an arrow, whatever you did. Use the atlatl, depending on how far back we're going. And you had to actually hunt down that animal. Then you had to drag the carcass back, and then you finally got to eat. So whether we're talking about gathering or we're talking about harvesting, foraging, hunting, no matter what it is, you had to exercise first. Then you got to eat. So in terms of working out in the morning, generally I recommend fasted. Maybe a little bit of coconut oil or MCT oil or exogenous ketones. Maybe a little caffeine in the form of coffee or tea. Maybe a little bit of branched-chain amino acids to help with protein synthesis. Other than that, you really don't need much before a workout. In terms of eating beforehand, no. But if you're looking to optimize performance, then yeah, maybe you do get a little bit in beforehand. And Meredith, what's up? How you doing? All right, Murray, what's the most effective cold remedy for kids? What kind of cold are we talking about? Upper respiratory, lower respiratory? So is it breathing issues? Is it sinus issue? What are we looking at? What are the kids dealing with? Excuse me. Sniffles, so clearing them out. How do they? I know that they aren't doing too well with heat, right? That being said, I would probably say for most people, clearing out the sinuses, horseradish and cayenne and garlic are your best bet. However, in the event that that's not an option, a little bit of raw honey could help, but for the nose, it's not the best. You're really going to want something that's going to stimulate that mucus release. So in terms of herbs, echinacea is pretty good. Yeah, not for the kids, I know. Echinacea is pretty good though. Garlic, I like grapefruit seed extract. Are they, yeah, manuka, yes. Are they willing to do? Are they willing to? Where was I going with that? Brain fart. Tough jiu-jitsu practice. Sorry about that. Can't do the heat. Are they willing to do nasal spray? That's what I was going to say. Excuse me. Are they willing to do a nasal spray? Because there is the X-Clear nasal spray, which is a xylitol-based spray. It's not going to be like cayenne-based sprays. I like those better for most people. However, for kids and everything. So yes, if they're willing to do a nasal spray, X-Clear is a pretty solid one. I would definitely look at that. So for sinuses, for kids, X-Clear. Definitely some echinacea will be beneficial. Possibly some grapefruit extract. The Megaspore would actually be beneficial. In terms of adults with sinus issues, I go and usually recommend snorting the Megaspore, as crazy as it seems, and I have done it. It is effective, but it's not for the faint of heart. Similar to our conversation this morning, Meredith. And hi, Courtney, how you doing? All right. Annie, interesting, thanks. I usually drink a quarter cup of my protein shake. Yeah, that could work before a pre-workout. What kind of protein are you taking? You're sure? No problem. What are you sure about in terms of taking in the Megaspore, snorting the Megaspore, about being effective, and not being for the faint of heart? Let's see. We got those. So far we've talked a little bit about grass-fed hot dogs for children. We've talked about pre-workout food. Yeah, Megaspore, yes. For kids with Megaspore, I'd say a half capsule, by the way. So definitely start at quarter to half capsule. Kind of like we started with you. Don't be going crazy. That being said, a kid, particularly of their age, could build up to 1 to 2 capsules. It's just not necessarily necessary. And Maddie, if you're watching this on the replay, or if you hop in eventually, well, you missed this part. So if you're watching this on the replay, yes, it's okay. We talked a little bit again about pre-workout food, and we talked a little bit about most effective remedies for kids. Annie, if you want to tap on, if you want to put in what your protein shake consists of, that'd be great. We'll build up for that. Thank you, Courtney. So yeah, do we have? I think there's some more questions going. Like we said, we talked a little about kids and what they should be eating. We talked a little about what they can do for colds. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Talk about pre-workout foods. Let's see, maca root, powder or liquid. So basically, you're asking, should you be supplementing with maca? Is the point? Operating under the assumption, I'll let you fill that in, but operating under the assumption, yes. So the answer is yes. So operating that under that, is maca root beneficial? Yeah, it can be. Is it the superfood they make it out to be? No. Just like noni berries and goji berries and acai and every other superfood that's come out since whatever. It's a rich source of antioxidants. It's going to have some vitamins and minerals. It may have some adaptogenic properties. Can have some stimulating properties. Is it going to be beneficial for most people? Yeah, probably. Is it going to save your life? Probably not. So, can you work with it? Can we add it into your protocol? Yeah, we probably could. I'd probably mix it in maybe with whether we're doing with the pili nuts, doing like or pili nuts, excuse me, doing like a little trail mix. You can make it with like a little cocoa powder and the maca root. Put those together into like, to coat maybe the nuts, make like chocolate covered nuts with the maca root. I think we have a recipe there. You like to play around with stuff, so you might be able to do something like that. So maybe put MCT oil, coconut oil, take those, add the maca root, add the cocoa powder, maybe a little stevia, put it all together, and be ready to rock. Make those and coat that around the pili nuts. I feel like that would be a really good thing. And when you do that, make sure you bring me some. Hey, Nick, what's up, brother? Okay, Annie. 1 tablespoon plant-based powder, 1 tablespoon of something called GI Revive powder, 1 tablespoon of paleo fiber, half teaspoon of probiotic synergy, and 1 tablespoon of flaxseed oil. So you have a lot going on there. The GI Revive, I'm assuming, is probably a prebiotic-probiotic mix. The plant-based protein, what is the plant? Is it pea protein? Is it sprouted rice. What are we looking at there? Let's see if I can pull some of that up real quick. Yeah, that's my regular regimen. Yeah, I picked up on that. That's your regular one. The problem I have, actually, you know what? I have a computer in front of me. Let's see if I can type that without making this completely weird. And look at my neck, like, hey guys, look at my neck. Complete weirdo. In case you guys haven't already picked up on that, just an absolute weirdo. All right, GI Revive. Because normally I would go and I would put this up on my phone, but of course I can't view the questions very well on the phone. Well, can't view the questions well on my iPad as I'm recording. But fortunately, I have another electronic in front of me. Yay for EMF exposure. It's GI Revive is designed for health. I knew I'd heard of it. So glutamine, N-acetylglucosamine, pectin, DGL, mucin, slippery elm, aloe vera, marshmallow. Yeah, that looks pretty solid. What's your plant protein consist of? And paleo fiber. That's an interesting one. I wonder what the heck that is. And yeah, while I'm looking this up, if you guys want to add some more questions in, that'd be great. As I get super creepy, you can look at my nose. Okay, so it's another Designs for Health product. Cool. Ingredients. We are looking at cellulose, guar gum. Hey, Kim, what's up? Let's see what we got here. Strange paleo fiber. And yeah, waiting for those questions to come in as I'm looking up this paleo fiber nonsense. Not saying it's necessarily nonsense, Annie. Could be a good thing, but we'll see. Okay, so we have acacia gum, cellulose, guar gum, cranberry seed, inulin, carrot fiber, apopectin, glucomannan. And we also have some more probiotics: flax, prune, lactobacillus, bifidobacterium. Yeah, so I mean, that could have some benefit. Those will act as prebiotic fibers, particularly along with the GI Revive, which will be providing some of that other stuff. Is coconut flour an okay source for carbs every once in a while? Yeah, you can definitely start incorporating that in. You in particular can start incorporating that in on a more regular basis. So, on a low-ish carb protocol, you generally don't want to be going, or rather on a ketogenic protocol, you don't want to go too high on the carbs, obviously. On a low-ish carb protocol, coconut flour in moderation, even though I hate that word, can be beneficial. I have my muffin in a mug recipe that I use coconut flour for, and it's quite awesome. It's also my English muffin recipe. Use coconut flour. Those work out really well. In terms of carb density, yeah, it's got a little bit, but all coconut flour is the dried portion of coconut meat. So essentially, they have the coconut meat. Crack open the coconut, the white part that's around the outside. You dry it out. That makes your flour. If you take what's left, you dried off, is the oil. So you press out the oil, you're left with that powder. So that's basically where the carbs coming in. It's not an exorbitant amount. Yeah, sure, when turning into a flour, you will be getting in more than you would otherwise than if you were just eating a coconut. But a couple tablespoons here and there, ready to rock. You have a yummy pancake recipe. Nice. Have you ever made my pancake recipe? Although, that's right, the problem with that is that you're afraid of the cream cheese. We have the issues there, so we can't really do that with you. I'll have to try yours at some point. Okay, Orgain. Okay, yeah. Orgain is decent. Orgain's not terrible in terms of the organic proteins, the plant proteins. Again, I'm not really the biggest fan of plant proteins. The Calthins have a decent one with their in-power protein. I'll be honest, I can't stand the taste of any plant protein. It just doesn't. I can't do it. I can't. All power to you who can. I don't think that it's the best in terms of overall bioavailability. There is, sure, if that's the only way you're willing to get protein in, or like in the case of some people who have an allergy with whey, which extremely rare, but I know someone who was on the call or on the Q&A earlier, I don't know if she's still here, who has that issue. Usually the problems are with casein, but unfortunately there is a small percentage, like 1 to 2% of the population, that does have problems with whey, and in those cases, yeah, problem. So you're gonna have to use a plant protein, or you can switch over to an egg protein or a beef protein. But if you absolutely have to use a vegetable protein for any reason, you're gonna want to go with a sprouted rice and or pea. Hemp protein's decent too. So those three are the ones you're gonna want to look at: hemp, sprouted rice, and pea protein. Empower protein is the one that I like. So, well, again, that thing is a quality product. I'll be honest. It's not taste-wise, it's not particularly different than the Orgain, but like I said, I'm not a fan of those. So it's Empower plant protein. Yeah, awesome. So, yeah, so we talked about a whole bunch of different things now. We talked about the kids, whether they can eat hot dogs, whether you should be giving them cayenne up or Megaspore up their nose, and by that, sinus remedies. Talked a little about plant proteins and gut health and paleo fibers and all those. What else we talked about? We talked about pre-workout nutrition. A little bit about maca root, and now we're going to make a peely nut recipe. Talked about coconut flour being a decent source. Absolutely, yeah, I think we can get that in. So, yeah, what are the kind of questions we got? You guys have been great tonight, been real active, asking me a lot of good questions, but gonna need to keep it rolling. We got a couple more minutes left. We got about another 15 minutes left, give or take. So, let's get those questions. Let's see if I can pull up a question or two otherwise. What else we got? Bentonite clay. So for what purpose? What purpose now? Hey, money first, up, brother. And gout. What about gout, Annie? I do have a video all on gout, and I'll put that in the. I'll definitely respond with that after the live stream is over. But we can talk about that for now too. What about it? If we're talking about the bentonite clay, we'll start back for any purpose. I like it a lot, like a lot. I like it a lot. If we're talking about a parasite infection, so food poisoning, acute reactions, along with psyllium husk and activated charcoal, bentonite clay can be pretty awesome. In terms of dealing with that, in terms of just doing it all the time, it's going to absorb a lot more than is worth it, so probably not a great idea to be doing it regularly. Okay. Quick remedy for gout. Well, unfortunately, there's not a quick remedy, more often than not. What you're going to want to focus on is on reducing inflammation overall. However, that being said, the biggest thing you're going to want to remove is fructose. Everybody hears purines, like, you gotta remove purines. Too much protein, that's the problem. It's not. And hey Ozzy, hi Irina, how you guys doing? But no, when it comes to gout, the biggest problem we're going to be looking at is fructose. Fructose does not get digested properly, and more often than not, that is the biggest driver of gout. So, if we're looking to reduce that, we're going to want to do a protocol that is reducing inflammation and completely removing fructose, particularly the processed fructose varieties. So, any high fructose corn syrups, any other added fructose, agaves, even honey in this case, if we're dealing with that gout. From there, you're going to want to look at natural herbal anti-inflammatories, and that's going to be the best bet. In terms of the fruit, you're going to want to limit it. Eliminating it short term could be beneficial, yes. Long term, no. But in the immediate, more importantly than fruit even, is the added fruits, the added sugars. So the problem is everything, the purines get a bad rap, but everything has purines. It has less to do with the purine metabolism than it does with fructose malabsorption. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that. Yeah, so that's a little bit about the gout. In terms of the bentonite clay, like I said, it's absorbing pretty much everything. Try to keep that to a relative minimum. Use it for more acute purposes. Catherine, what's up? How you doing? So, yeah, talked about a whole bunch of different things so far. Those of you who are just joining us, talk about bentonite clay, gout, plant proteins, pre-workout stuff, coconut flour, and pancakes. Okay, are acai bowls good for you? And what would you put in yours? It's a great question. I know a friend of mine, she recently was telling me that she's been doing acai bowls, and she doesn't put grains in it. I haven't actually had an acai bowl. Crazy concept, right? But from my understanding, they usually add, is it oats or other grains? Because somebody who's on the call who eats acai bowls, what grains do they normally put in? But I know they do put something in, and that's my biggest aversion to it. If you were to avoid that, if you were just to use the acai, and along with maybe some coconut flakes, maybe some cacao nibs if they offer that, yeah, that could be beneficial. I don't normally know what the toppings and stuff are, so unfortunately I can't really help you out on that one right now. If you can give me a little more information, that'd be great. Excuse me, sorry. Katie and Tavana, what's up? How you doing? Katie, do you know any foods that make labor faster or easier? I heard there are certain foods you can eat. I think one was prunes or something. I'm not sure if this is something you ever heard of. So I'll look into it for you. That's actually a great question too, because I have a lot of friends, clients who are pregnant and otherwise. So in terms of inducing labor, I'd probably say osteocalcin. Is it osteocalcin? I believe so. I'll definitely look into that, and I'll give you a better answer later. But I'd say probably foods that would, and any of my female listeners, pretty much all of you had kids. So if anyone can help me out on that one, I believe it's osteocalcin. But not always. I never had them do it. What have you never had them do? Just a lot of fruit. Oh, is that for the acai? Is that for Bill's question? Yeah, so I think that's for Bill's. And granola, that's what it is. Thank you. So that's what they always put in the acai bowl that I'm not crazy about. That's like one of the main parts. So yeah, I would switch over to coconut flakes and everything like that. Going back to your question though, Katie, going back to that one, I'll definitely look into that more, a little deeper, in terms of what foods would help with the induction of it. I would say, and again, making it easier, pretty much anything that will relax the muscles, I would think. Probably magnesium, probably electrolytes. And again, shooting from the hip right now, I don't have a definitive answer on that right now. I would probably say something along the range of electrolytes and potentially some things that would move osteocalcin. I believe that. Actually, I have the computer here. Let me cheat for a second. I'll just pull that up. I believe it's that, because it's gonna bug me if I don't look this up real quick. No, it's not osteocalcin. What the hell is it called then? Yeah, osteocalcin is the bone one. Psh. Labor induction. What's the hormone? It's gonna be something that sounds like that, and it's gonna be something that sounds nothing like that, actually. And then I'll be like, oh, well, completely made that up, I guess. There is a hormone though, and I could have sworn it sounds like that, and that's why it's throwing me off. A friend asked me today if there's anything you take that would make you not hate other people. Well, things that are legal, CBD. Other than that, you probably have to go into the less legal varieties, which I cannot recommend in a professional setting. I definitely say CBD though. Oxytocin. That's the word I was looking for. Oxytocin. Yeah, osteocalcins. That's like in hindsight, osteo means bones. So I was like, sorry about that. So prostaglandins. Oxytocin, and those are actually given to you medically. Those are given to you, right? Those are given to you in terms of medicinal. Those are given to you at possible. What you'd want to do is take things that actually go and make it a little faster and easier. In terms of reductions, thanks for the love, Rashid. I appreciate it. The 4 billion hearts. Yeah, so in terms of that, I would look at magnesium, other electrolytes, things that will help with the relaxation process to make it easier. With those, you'd want things that would, again, with the isotones, I'm not saying that you're actually going to go and inherently induce it, but you're going to want to do is basically promote that process. So that would be the best bet. So yeah, oxytocin. That's the word I was looking for, though. All right. Lots of fruits, the acai bowl, coconut flakes, all that fun stuff. Make you not hate people. CBD. Any other questions, guys? We're getting close to the calling it mark. I love the hearts. I love the likes, the thumbs up. I appreciate it, guys. I got time for about another question or two. Like I said, we like to do about half an hour. Otherwise, I appreciate everybody that stopped on for the live portion, and definitely appreciate the support. If you're watching this on the replay, thanks for making it this far. Otherwise, you know what to do. You can head over to YouTube over at youtube.com/MikeTheCaveman. You can subscribe if you haven't already. You can go over to subscribe over on MikeTheCaveman.com. That'd be great too. We're working on some changes behind the scenes. Been talking to a couple of people, and my good friend Kim might be putting some work. I don't know if she's still here, but she's been kicking around some ideas in her head. Maybe actually make MikeTheCaveman.com a good website. Yeah, so we have the videos. We do this every day, at least the pre-taped ones, and just keep sending in the questions. Hopefully help you out. Yes, Annie, dark chocolate does make people happy. So dark chocolate, CBD infused dark chocolate, wrapped in bacon. That's the one. And there's Kim. Yes, awesome. Kim's still here. So yeah, like I said, head over to YouTube, hit the subscribe, head over to MikeTheCaveman.com, subscribe to that. I definitely am planning on doing more over there. Maybe releasing some recipes and stuff. If you have any recipes you would like to submit to me, and we'll put it on there, I would greatly appreciate that as well. So I think we've come up with 2 recipes for the night. Peely nuts covered in chocolate and maca root. That's one that Murray's going to come with. And Tavana, that's your job now. You have to do some CBD infused chocolate wrapped in bacon wrapped chocolate. So Murray, Tavana, you have recipes. Go. And those will be the new recipes from MikeTheCaveman.com. You will get full credit, I promise, but actually get it going again. Catherine, great question. Have you done one on travel and jet lag? I have not done one specifically on that, and that could be a good one to do. However, when I talked about melatonin, should you be supplementing with melatonin? That is one of the few cases in which melatonin could be beneficial. So, as most of you know, I'm not a big fan of supplementing with hormones of most varieties. The reason being is that you have to be super tight about it. And another thing you may know about me by now, if you've been listening regularly, I don't like math very much. So, because of that, I don't like calorie counting. I don't like measuring macros much. It adds a level of neurosis that is beyond what most people need. However, yes, sometimes things need to be fine-tuned. When we're talking about hormones, it's a similar concept. It requires more math than you really need. You need to be able to precisely measure things. And in the case of that, I'd rather support leading up to it. I'd rather support the processes leading up to that. Vinny, what's up, brother? So I'd rather lead the processes go up to that. So things like CBD, things like 5-HTP, things that will go and produce serotonin, I'd rather do that, or rather regulate the serotonin receptors or produce serotonin. I'd rather do that than supplementing with melatonin. But the one caveat to that is to your question. Regarding travel and jet lag, because it's acute dosing, you're only taking the melatonin short term. That was one of the few times where it can be beneficial, because that's a common misconception regarding melatonin, is that people think that melatonin is going to go and knock you out, put you to sleep. What melatonin actually does helps to reset your circadian rhythm. So melatonin, along with cortisol, basically spike and then go up and down during the nighttime. Melatonin goes up, and then in the morning cortisol goes up, and those two work in sync to help you maintain that circadian rhythm. So with the travel, that's when melatonin could be beneficial, because of the time difference. Your clock is off. So in terms of that, that'd be a good idea. Heading to California for the Expo West conference. Cool. Going back 3 hours. When I come home, we spring forward. I'm very big on sleep and honoring my circadian rhythm, so stressed about it when I travel. More important than anything else, Catherine, breathe. Murray, can you co-sign on that, please? Can I get an amen on that one? Breathe. Catherine, that's definitely a big one for you as well. But in that short-term case, definitely look at the support. Things like the CBD, if you're not afraid to travel with it, are beneficial. Thank you. So with that, the CBD, maybe a little melatonin there and on the way back as a quick restart. Acupuncture, Annie, yeah, great idea. Acupuncture, if you can get in there, get a little acupuncture, that'd be great. Meditation, just breathing exercises, prayer, anything that's going to help you to de-stress, huge. That's it. Because that change, that shift in the circadian rhythm is going to cause a stressor. And if you're already stressed when you travel, super important to make sure you don't. Or at the very least, mitigate the effects of that stress. So, huge thing. Take care of that stress. As always, it's the gut, it's the stress, the sleep. The food comes in after. Don't forget to move too. That's pretty important. But yeah, I think that about calls it for tonight. Everybody, amazing questions. Like I said, truly appreciate the support. I'm glad hopeful, and if it is the case, operating under that assumption, I am glad that I've been able to help you tonight. And yeah, just keep shooting over those questions, and you know where to find me. Either way, I'll see you tomorrow, guys.